Good day, everyone. My name is M.Sydney Vernanda. Student ID NIM 123106160. I apologize if you hear any coughing or groanness from my voice. I'm not feeling my best today, but I will do my best to answer these questions for my midterm exam as given to me by my docent. So, first up is I was given the link to the Greenfields Indonesia Instagram account. Now, starting from what I saw is in the analysis of their organic strategy, which is their own self-made content, everything here seems to be very family orientated. There's a lot of posts feature family members together, for example, like this one. Family Glow Out Inside Out Challenge, featuring a mom and her child. Or say, how about this one, for example, features a mom and her baby together. So really trying to focus their appeal about to family focus and emotional narrative to build trust and relatability, presenting Greenfield as the go-to milk and dairy for families who want none but the best. They also really do push forward into the health and nutritional aspect, such as this one, for example, which literally this content talks about how Greenfields is the best milk for kids' growth. That also really helps that. And what's most interesting, what is unique in here is their content featuring Dr. Christopher Adrian, dubbed as Ask the Expert, basically. So basically, it's a sort of content that has scientific authority. Basically, it helps reinforce Greenfield's position as a health-conscious and evidence-based brand rather than just any sort of dairy brand out there in Indonesia. It's to help build consumer confidence in them. And then there's also the lifestyle approach, basically. It's like, for example, with this post, good mood starts from feeling good. Definitely promotes their yogurt as being the best way to improve one's mood. And then among their slogans that I've seen that are included are the jujurly pure, jujurly fresh, which jujur means like truthfully. So they press themselves as truthfully pure milk and purely fresh. As an avid Greenfield user myself, I do appreciate how their milk feels more fresh than any other sort of brands that I have. It really does help connect to the modern customer's emotional connection to wellness and to wellness, basically. And then lastly, some of their interesting engagements is called the Resapi, basically. So it's basically among their content where they expands the product usage beyond just consumption, basically. These invite followers to interact and try out these new recipes, basically, which encourages both creativity and brand loyalty. Also really pushes forward the brand's relevance and versatility, basically, showing as part of everyday meals. So their content plan, what I found unique, this is the second question, what I found unique about their content plan is that they seem to be focusing a lot on the sort of customer, on the customers, basically. So it's improved customer rendition. So basically it's how the customers think and feel about the product. So with the family or it ads, and then the expert insights, it's basically to reinforce the identity and build the trust, basically, in the brand, to show that they are among the best choice for you, for anyone who wants to be healthy and really good tasting milk and dairy products, basically. So they're basically showing themselves as unique. So what I feel is the most interesting element is that the integration of an expert figures basically is a standout feature. So the the ask the expert contents that they produce is really interesting because few dairy brands would actually use professional nutritionists as recurring content forms, especially in Indonesia. So it's pretty unique that they use an actual doctor to really show that their product is much healthier juga. And then their resapi segments are also very creative and brand coherent juga, bringing the product's utility to the audience and engagement rate. So what I feel that they could improve is like a couple of things. This is number 3, how my suggestions. So first of all, they got to increase the community interaction. So the recipe content, I feel like they could be expanded with, like encourage their users to share their own recipe creations with Greenfield products. So more user-generated content approach could help make the community feel more involved and amplify the organic reach, basically. And then what I also feel is the second one is that they really got to push forward with more real content, because many of these contents are just post. Since Instagram's algorithm favors the reels, like improving more on the short and then snackable video content could really help increase the organic reach significantly. Now, moving on to the second question, which I had to answer, is basically I was told to look at some screenshots from a advertisement, a non-organic one, by coffee roaster Setjangkir. That's a pretty well-known coffee place, and they were collaborating with an event known as the Life Martha, if I'm not wrong, to handle their caffeine needs. Now, given from the overall insights I was told to describe the insights I could see from this data, so they managed to get at least 6,785 accounts reached with 8,526 impressions. So the difference between reach and impressions is reach is all the organic original people that you have met, while on the other hand, impressions are just those same people looking at the accounts over and over again. So the ad was a key driver in their visibility, and suggesting that the organic reach at this point was relatively little bit low, since it was because given like non-organic wise, it's basically to help reach out to see their audience, basically. And then on the engagement and interaction insights I could find is that the post interactions were about 78 total, 1.15% engagement rate based on the reach, with only 68 likes, 2 comments, 1 from the users themselves, and whom in turn was responding to the only other comment, which is from their partner during that event, Life at Martha. Excuse me. Now there's the event, the event there, Life at Martha. 6 saves and 2 shares. So the engagement level is modest, especially considering ad support basically for this. Given it was more like event or partnership driven rather than supposed to be the content themselves that encourages the audience or something like that, basically. Although, given from the event, they seem to be pleased with Setjangkir's performance there. And then for the profile, activity, and conversation, basically. So profile visits were about 152, 136 from the ad, which is 89%. Extra link tabs is 5 from the ad, 7 new followers. The cost per visit is 687 rupiah. And then ad spent is around 93,475 rupiah over 2 days. So the conversion funnel shows decreased descent curiosity. Basically, they were interested enough to visit those 152 profile visits indicate users were interested enough to explore the brand. However, only 6 link tabs and 7 followers suggest limited long-time rendition or sale potential, implying most viewers were ad casual rather than the ones who are ready to buy. And the cost per profile visit relatively efficient for a local micro business campaign, but the cost per follow is quite high. Now the audience demographics, so 69.1% were male and 30.9% were female. The age gap were, many of them were ages 25 to 34. That's around 60.2%. And then 25.8% were 18 through 24. And then around 13.9 of them were ages 35 through 44. So many of them are like middle-aged young adult group. And the location favor bids was 99.9% were from Jakarta. So the audience skews like very young adults basically, and consists of the urban coffee consumer, so really active on Instagram and likes to attend events. The targeting matched the Kedai Ngopi audience, suggesting the strong democratic relevant. So their ad really matched well with their intended audience. And then the ad and efficiency, the ad duration was around 2 days. The spend to utilize was 99.8% of the budget, well optimized. And the primary outcome was visibility and awareness basically. So short campaign was effective, built the brand visibility at a live event, being the A-League ceremony that Life at Martha was doing, which strengthens the brand's credibility and partnership. And then lastly, the key takeaways I could bring from this sort of ad is that the high ad-driven reach but low engagement, basically, indicating strong awareness but weak emotional interactive appeal. And then the audience insights reveals potential for a audience segmentation and creative tailoring by way of interest and a strong B2B positioning, thanks to the brand mention of Live at Martha, which could be leveraged to show the partnership and reliability to corporate clients. Any sort of recommendations I could give to them? Well, I guess I could say that they need to enhance their content appeal. But basically, like, they need to give more visual dynamic to highlight the product experience, not just a picture. The ad was just a picture. That was kind of it. And then after that, they should retarget the engaged viewers. So create follow-up ads for those who visited the post. And then basically, they need to leverage that event partnership that they had as well. So like post up behind the scenes reels or testimonials from the events at the A-League to build authenticity, which should help them build up their brand even more. Okay, that is all I have to say. I will say thank you very much for listening to me answering these questions. Thank you very much and have a great day.